All right, welcome back YouTube to another video. So in today's video, we are going to be going over how to create basically on-off switches on your loop deck. So when you actually turn on a switch, it'll change to like a green light, and when you turn it off, it'll go back to whatever the regular off switch is. So one thing though, MSFS has no way of actually telling you what position the switch is to correlate with what you have it set. So you always have to make sure you start cold and dark when you use this, because your switches will always start in the off position and then go to the on position back off whenever you click it. So it always needs to match. So that's why you always want to start in cold and dark, because all your switches will be in the off position. Sometimes they'll be in the on position, like with the Phoenix. When you go ahead and turn everything on, your flight director actually turns on first and stays on. So like that one, you'll have it set to be in the on position first, and then secondary will be off. But for now, we're going to go ahead and continue on. We have our test kit Fox profile right here. We have the 3 switches that we set up in the last video. So now we're going to go ahead and make these fuel, strobe, and master switches all toggle switches. So first thing you want to do is you want to go over here to your loop deck, and you want to go ahead and just click on it on these 3 little dots right here. You want to click that, and then you want to go to create custom action. When you do that, you want to look for multi-toggle right there, not the macro, just the multi-toggle. So you click that. So now it's going to create a new multi-toggle action. We can name this master toggle. So that's what we'll name it. And then you got to go to stored MIDI actions right here. You got to find which button you want to make it a toggle. So we want the master. We're going to click it and just drag it down here. We're going to drop it off there. So now we have 1 of 5 toggle switches. Then you want to do that again. You want to grab master and drop it down here. So number 1 is going to be the first state that your switch is in. Number 2 is going to be the second state your switch is in. So number 1 should always be off. Number 2 will be your on switch. And then you just want to go right here to this icon. You want to click that little pencil. You want to click on this icon and hide it. Then you want to go ahead and add your on. So ours was called master battery. So we're going to look for the on switch. So we're going to use this green one right here. Go ahead and select that. So now we have the green on switch. So we can go ahead and save this. And down here at the bottom, we can go ahead and save this. So now we created a toggle switch for this. So when we go ahead and click on master battery toggle, and we see master down here, let's go ahead and put that in the offset position first. So when we go ahead and click on master battery toggle, the light turns green there and the switch goes up. Then if you look at the switch right here and you click it, the light turns off and the switch turns off. So that's how you set up that first one. You can do the same thing for fuel if you want to. Just find a fuel lever. I don't know if there's one for the Kit Fox, so we'll just have to kind of make our own up. So what we'll do is we'll go again, custom action, multi-toggle for fuel. We'll call this fuel toggle. Let's go ahead and make this all cap. Fuel toggle. And then again, we'll click on MIDI. We'll find our fuel button. We'll drag it down there, and we'll drag it down there again for the on off. Next, we will go ahead and look for a fuel switch. Something that we can use. Might be a little difficult to find an actual fuel. Let's see, what could it possibly be under? Fuel controls? I guess we'll do fuel valve on, fuel valve off. So you go ahead, click fuel valve off for that first one, and we'll save it. And then for number 2, we will do the same thing, except we'll select fuel valve on. And we'll save that. Now we can hit the save button down here. So now we should have fuel valve off, fuel valve on. So if we look at the fuel valve right there, and we click this button, switch to on, fuel valve's on, switches back to off, fuel valve's off, switch it back to on, fuel valve's on, and back off, fuel valve's off. Same thing we'll do again for the strobes. So we'll go ahead and we'll find one for the strobe. So we'll go back to loop deck. So strobe right here, we'll click on this. We'll click custom, create action, create custom action, multi-toggle. We'll call this strobe toggle. And then again, we go to MIDI down here. We go to our stored MIDI actions, find strobe, drag it down here, drop it off. Do it again. We need 2 of them. First one, we'll click on the pencil right there. We'll get rid of this. We'll go here and we will look for lights. Is there any lights? Field controls, instruments and systems. So there's no light there. Interior lights, flashlight. That won't work. Menus, that won't work. Exterior lights. So we'll find strobe. We'll find strobe if we can. Am I not seeing it? I'm not seeing it. Beacon, beacon, exterior, landing, landing. Headlights, head landing lights. A lot of landing lights. Landing nav lights. There we go, strobes. So we can do strobes off, strobes on. So we will do that. So we'll go strobes off. We'll click that button. And then we'll save it. For strobe on, again, we'll do the same thing. Click on it, hide that. We'll go here. We'll look for strobe on. Click that, select it, save it, and save it down here. So now we have strobes off, strobes on. So if you look at the strobes right there, there's turned on, strobes on, turned off, strobes off, back on, and back off. So that's pretty much it. That's how you would create the icons with the on-off switch. to show you what position your switch is in. If you found that helpful, please hit that like, hit that subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, leave them down below. This is part 2. It's a short, quick video. Just wanted to show you different things that you could do. Also, if you couldn't find icons, you could always make your own. You can just go down like this. You can zoom up and then come down, get it perfectly straight. Zoom in, kind of go like that. And then you can just take a screenshot, or you can use a snipping tool and just go around the strobe, go around the landing, have it in the off position, then click it on the on position if you wanted to do it that way. That's also a possibility. It's up to you how you want to do it, what works out best for you. Again, if this helped you, please hit that like, hit that subscribe. In the next video, we'll go over the nav and how to set up these buttons right here, the toggles, to create like a multi-toggle switch, or like one knob to control your inner and your outer, and also finishing up setting up the buttons right there for your autopilot or for your navigation, and we'll do the autopilot in the next video. So again, I hope that helped. If it did, hit that like, hit the subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video. Until next time, fly safe.